We're used to thinking we live in a democracy. We go to the polls, cast our ballots, pick our politicians, and just hope they make our lives better. But what if Congress, the president, and the whole system is just an illusion? Imagine if tomorrow morning, all politicians just vanished. What if we woke up to an absolute 100% direct democracy? A world where every single government decision is made personally by you and everyone else. Sounds like a utopia, right? Power finally in the hands of the people. But honestly, it's actually a recipe for a massive, epic disaster. Picture this. You wake up, grab your phone, and see a notification. It's a new government app. No more middlemen. All the power is right there in the smartphones of everyday citizens. Should we build a new high-speed highway? Everyone votes. Raise taxes on giant corporations? Everyone votes. Declare war on another country? Yep, the majority decides that too. No more high-level corruption, no more backroom deals, just 100% pure mob rule. For the first few weeks, the world would literally glow with euphoria. You'd walk down the street and feel this crazy sense of unity with everyone around you. People would gather in coffee shops, having passionate debates, discussing laws, and tapping the voting buttons on their screens together. We're finally running our own lives. We cancel stupid taxes. We vote to build new schools instead of buying luxury cars for government officials. We finally feel like the true bosses of our own country. At first glance, it feels like the ultimate triumph of humanity. But there's one massive problem. Running a country isn't like hitting the like button on social media. Every single day, the government machine makes thousands of decisions. In the morning, you get a ping. You need to vote on the Federal Reserve's interest rates. At lunch, you have to decide what to do with a nuclear waste disposal site. By the evening, you're voting on commercial fishing quotas in the North Atlantic, or trying to figure out the complex details of medical licensing. Now you aren't an expert in macroeconomics, ecology, or biology. Your friends aren't experts. Your neighbors aren't either. Imagine a surgeon in the middle of a super complex operation, having to stop and vote on fixing a water main on the other side of the country. Or picture a totally exhausted college student who just finished a delivery shift. He just clicks agree on a massive 1,000-page bill simply because he's too tired to read it. And that's when the chaos starts. People vote with their emotions, not logic. Someone posts online, "Hey, let's abolish all taxes and give everybody $1 million." The crowd happily taps, "Yes." I mean, it's a direct democracy, right? Why not? The very next day, the economy crashes, the treasury is empty, doctors, teachers, and cops stop getting paid. Power plants shut down because there's no money for fuel. Trash starts piling up in the streets. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because nature abhors a vacuum. The politicians might be gone, but the thirst for power didn't go anywhere. And that power immediately shifts to the people who control the crowd's attention. Meet the new kings of the world, influencers, popular streamers, and media moguls. Why bother bribing a senator when you can just drop a viral video online? Corporations will hire massive PR armies. They'll shoot some heartbreaking, tear-jerker video with a crying kid or a cute puppy, just to push through a law that lets them clear-cut a forest for their new factory. And millions of people will literally wipe away a tear and hit vote yes. You'll think you're making your own choices. But really, your opinion was already shaped by the algorithms in your newsfeed. The whole country turns into one giant, endless reality TV show where the winner is whoever yells the loudest and plays on our basic instincts. Complex, long-term projects, they die out. Building nuclear power plants, space programs, deep scientific research, all of that takes decades of work. But the crowd always wants bread and circuses right here, right now. Nobody in their right mind is going to vote to tighten their belts today just for the hypothetical well-being of future generations. But let's dig a little deeper. The biggest danger isn't the economy, it's human psychology. The absolute worst enemy of a pure democracy is the tyranny of the majority. What if 51% of the population decides that the other 49% should just hand over all their property? Under the rules of a perfect democracy, that is a completely legitimate decision. The minority is left totally defenseless. If the mob doesn't like your hair color, your religion, or how much money you make, they can crush you, and it will be 100% legal. Insane social pressure kicks in. If you vote against whatever is trendy and popular right now, you become an outcast. Imagine your neighbors giving you dirty looks in the hallway. You start getting bullied in your company's group chats. You actually start fearing your own opinions. The right to choose just turns into this heavy burden of having to be exactly like everybody else. And the scariest part? Accountability completely disappears. When a president or Congress makes a decision, you can hold them responsible. You can protest against a specific person. But who do you blame when 30 million people vote for a war or for a law that turns into a total disaster? Everyone just shrugs. We didn't know. That's what the internet told us. When you spread responsibility across millions of people, it equals absolute zero. So, where does this lead in the near future? This wild experiment really only has 3 possible scenarios. Scenario number 1, total apathy. People will simply get exhausted trying to decide the fate of the world every single day. Voter turnout will plummet. The majority of people will just start ignoring those phone notifications. And then, power will be quietly and legally hijacked by small, highly organized, fanatic groups. They'll vote on command, forcing their agenda on everyone else. Scenario 2, total fragmentation. The country will shatter into thousands of independent communes. Every single neighborhood will start making its own rules. On one side of town, anything goes. On the other side, you've got a strict religious dictatorship. And inevitably, they'll start fighting each other over water, food, and power. But then there's the third, and honestly the most realistic option. Tech steps in. People will quickly realize they can't handle the avalanche of daily decisions. So they'll just delegate their voting rights to AI. You'll just tell your digital assistant, hey, vote in a way that keeps me comfortable and fed. And just like that, it won't be people, but neural networks writing the laws, running the stock market, and launching rockets. Humanity will voluntarily, and in the most democratic way possible, hand over all its power to machines, simply because we are too lazy for real freedom. We've fought for centuries for the right to vote. We've always seen it as the ultimate form of independence. But the absolute freedom to make decisions without a deep understanding of their consequences, that is the fastest, surest path to self-destruction. You wanted to rule the world, but you just became a tiny cog in a machine of algorithms and manipulation. You got total power, but you lost your safety, your stability, and the very essence of freedom. The crowd needs boundaries, institutions, and checks and balances. Otherwise, it will just eat itself alive. And here's the biggest paradox you should really think about. A perfect democracy doesn't exist because perfect people don't exist. So, imagine that notification popping up on your phone screen again. From now on, the fate of the whole country, the life of every single person, depends on your daily taps and the taps of the guy living next door. Knowing how easy it is to trick, scare, and enrage a crowd, would you risk hitting agree to this new world order? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious how many of us are actually ready to trust our lives and our future to the opinion of the absolute majority.